In a small village in India, there lived a young woman named Sana. In a week's time, a large festival will be held with visitors from all over. As Sana anticipates the event, she imagines herself wearing a beautiful dress to greet her many friends and make new ones. Green is her favorite color, and so the dress must be green, but it must also have red flowers. But how could she afford such a dress? In her world, fine dresses are rarely enjoyed by the poor, and she couldn't ask her parents when they are pressed just to keep the household together with enough food in the belly of her siblings. Even with those thoughts, Sana is not discouraged. She knows that she could have the dress, and what a pleasure it would be to wear it among her people. As the days pass by and the event gets closer, her mind again turns to the dress. She begins to think of situations that could enable her to acquire her dress. And when she gets it, she will put it on. In such moments, she can almost feel the fabric caress her skin. Her mother watches her daydream and demands she be more productive. Her face reddens and she feels ashamed. She looks for ways to work, hoping her mother will be pleased and not chastise her again. But as she works, she cannot lose the feeling of what a great time she will have at the community event. She imagines the people she will see and the games she will play and the rituals that will be performed with honor. She begins to feel that she will have a good time, whether or not she has the dress she wanted, and is happy to find contentment in her heart. The sun moves in the sky, and the day turns to night. But as Sana prepares for bed, she hears exclamations and shuffling coming from the entrance. An unexpected visitor has come to the door. It is her beloved Aunt Chalak. All the members of Sana's house greet her with joyous surprise. As Chalak embraces her sister, one of the children explores her handbag. But to Sana, this arrival seems to be a special gift from God just for her. Sana and her family stay up past their normal bedtimes to hear Chalak's stories. Before long, each member of the house has fallen asleep in their spot or retired to another room. Aunt Chalak surveys the house, turns to Sana, and says, I think we are the only two left awake. Tell me, my dear girl, how things are with you? Are you happy and healthy? Very much so, Sana responds. And even more, because you decided to visit. Ah, but I have nothing to give you today, my lovely one. Yes, but it is enough that you are here. I believe that you were delivered to me by the wings of the angels. Aunt Chalak studies her niece, half startled by her generous overtures. But it is good only to see you. It is the best welcome after my long travels. Tell me, are you looking forward to the gathering? Of course, I think about it all the time. And what have you to wear for the occasion? I have all that I need, dear aunt. I'm quite settled. As she utters these words, Sana turns away and looks towards the window. Has she told a lie? Only hours ago, she was sure she would enjoy the festival without the dress she had dreamed of. But now, she senses further stirrings in her heart. It seems that the surprise visit by her kin awakened her to new possibilities. Perhaps there are more surprises to come. Jhalak stares at her niece, trying to solve the mystery painted on her face. She too knows of wondrous things. She asks herself if there is something she can do for this beautiful girl. Jhalak could feel the night's demands grow severe, but sleep was the only payment it would accept. She begged Sana to rest. After ensuring Chalak's comfort in her bed, Sana finds her own. As the pair drift into slumber, their hearts seem to beat as one in love for each other. Just as the weaver spins a wheel, 1,000 invisible threads begin to weave together in the atmosphere of the Indian home. Sana awakes the next day. It is the day before the gathering. She anxiously puts herself into all the preparations that must be made. Meanwhile, Aunt Chalak stays close beside her and they tangle themselves in conversation throughout the day. For Sana, her hoped for garment is a secret jewel she must keep close to her chest. If she speaks about it, it may never come to pass. But her aunt fills her mind with such merry and cheerful stories to coax her out of her cave. Sana suddenly proclaims her secret to her aunt. Jhalak listens carefully to the designs of her niece's heart. She does not have the means to purchase such a garment outright, but a youthful resolve fills her to help Sana in any way she can. Against her sister's protest, Jhalak pulls Sana away from the house and they go out in the village. Jhalak and Sana take every opportunity to speak to every welcoming ear in search of some hope, some thread that may lead them to their goal. After many hours, the day's light begins to burn out in the sky. They know it is time to make their way back home. Their return trip is consumed by the events of the day. But every story ignores the one thing on both their minds. Soon, their talk turns to silence as they decide to face the reality. The gathering is tomorrow, and Sana will not have her dress. Sana searches for some way to quell any sadness in her aunt. She feels as though she owes her a great debt. Sana starts to tell her aunt Chalak how sorry she is for putting these crazy dreams in her mind. Aunt Chalak listens tenderly but interrupts her before Sana's self punishment becomes abuse. My darling, there is nothing you may apologize to me for. And you have not placed a crazy idea in my mind. The heart of the dreamer must never be punished, and woe to whoever dares. Dreamers only sin by not pursuing their dreams. Sana is stunned into silence by her words. The rest of the walk home is quiet and reflective. When they return, Sana seeks her bed earlier than normal. The next day she wakes up with a content spirit. She knows the day will go well, despite lost hopes and any possible chastisements from her mother. She puts on her nicest dress and joins her family at the gathering. The day goes by with much merriment. There is singing, dancing, performances, and times for venerating the spirit of the village. Sana treats every opportunity as a surprise gift and makes sure not to turn away the hands of the gift givers. In the whole day, there is no kind gesture to which she will show indifference, no nasty attitude. She won't pray, maybe turn sunnier. Her heart is buoyant, and her spirit seems more alive than ever before. What's more, her effervescence appears to brighten the faces of even the grumpiest people around her. When she is not focused on her immediate activity, she notices the eyes of her friends, local villagers, and even those of villagers from far away. Why do they seem as animated as she is? And the hearts of the festival goers are indeed impressed by her. They are so impressed that they begin to ask about her, wishing to know her. Aunt Jhalak appoints herself as guide to all who have questions about Sana. People begin to talk as word gets out about Sana's secret wish. A small convocation of village folk move about, working in her favor. Connections are made and rumors begin to flourish, some making their way to Sana's ears. Her delight turns to intense gratitude, and, try as she might, she cannot contain the sweetness of the news. As her eyes flood with tears, her onlookers become only more resolved and begin to murmur in absolute statements. While some make wild promises, others of quieter resolution go about the business of finding Sana's dress. They turn to their homes in search of any garments that may resemble what everyone has now agreed must be Sana's. Various options are brought before Aunt Jhalak, and each one is considered, but ultimately dismissed. In the heat of the goings on, a wild bird call is heard in the distance. Aunt Jhalak turns her head and feels a different kind of light breeze kiss her neck. Others of the crowd notice the change. Everyone falls silent then. The way is made for a peculiar woman, whom few have seen before. She walks up to Aunt Jhalak with a bundle in her arms. She pinches the top of the folds and carefully lets the cloth go until it falls to its full length. In the air it stands, buckling quietly in the wind. Red flowers dance on a green backdrop. The crowd's eyes move from the dress to Jhalak. Whispers increase as they notice that, while she will not accept the robe, she will utter no words of dismissal. Jhalak hears footsteps behind her and turns, knowing who will be there. As Sana moves in close to her cherished aunt, she surveys the dress. Silently, she asks what love would bring her this gift. She looks up into the eyes of the peculiar woman and feels her generosity. Then she turns and gazes into the eyes of her aunt. Waves of emotion flow between them. Jhalak takes the dress and her niece's arm. Then she leads her away to a room where she can change. In response, the crowd erupts with enthusiasm and cheer. Alone in the room, Sana tries to ignore the commotion outside to savor the special moment. As she puts on her dress, she feels its delicate fabric brush her skin and remembers her days and hours of dreaming. Although she is by herself, she feels the joy of the crowd outside and perhaps others who are around her. How interesting, she says, the way it all came together. She lifts her eyes to look in the mirror and smiles.